Hi, it's Legos. Here I go. Alright, here we are. Back again. Hello everyone, hopefully you all can hear me. If not, I'm sure you'll say, if you can't hear anything. But, it's been a while since we did a tree building. I apologize for the break. It was just kind of hard to find a time where I was up for it, but I'm up for it now, so let's get to it. Where we last left off, we had gotten all of the initial building done before we actually split off from the Breath of the Wild bit. So we've got the Breath of the Wild bit here, and then we've got the Ocarina bit over here. So probably what we're going to do is get the Ocarina bit together, and I don't know how modular this is necessarily, but maybe there's a chance that we might also do the Breath of the Wild one if time allows for it. Also, actually, before I forget, sorry, one moment. There we go. Just to get a little ambiance for the background of the stream. Okay, so we are commanded here to start off with bags 10, 14, and 23. No particular order to any of those, insofar as I can tell. So let's spread them, shall we? Hi, bees. Also, this marks a momentous occasion, as I mentioned to bees while we were in call earlier. This is the last stream before a little beast enters the apartment. So we'll have to see how that changes the dynamic of everything. Hopefully not too much. Oh, you almost got me. Beast Wars? No. My roommate is adopting a cat. And she's coming home tomorrow. So I have that to look forward to upon getting back from work. Which is exciting, to say the least. Okay, and immediately, looking at these instructions, this does not look particularly modular, so that is unfortunate. And also, I don't have a lot of room to work with how these are spread out, unfortunately. You can actually see a brief little preview of the cat that we are adopting in my Discord. I posted a number of pictures in the Creatures channel on the 13th. The first picture, the picture that I have titled "The Sleepy Liquor," that is the young lady we will be adopting. Let's see. Okay, so I think right here is where it wants that. That looks right, I think. Boy, I just wish I had more table to work with, honestly. Okay, oops, that's not supposed to be there. Or, no, yes, it is actually supposed to be there. That's supposed to go on the bottom of. There we go, okay. Yes, it seems that is not a good place to put that after all. But I think I probably could have figured that out myself. Oh well. That, and then begin taking these. I'm sure the cat will help me clear table space. I am inclined to agree. I'm a little nervous about her being, well, initially I'm sure she's going to be very skittish, of course, because she's just been introduced to a new space, and you know, I mean, me and my roommate aren't exactly what I would term as you know, horribly fast moving, I guess, or whatever, but I mean, you know, it's going to be a new space for her to adapt to and all that, so there'll be that. But hold on, no, that's correct. All right. Oh, and I've dropped another thing too. I don't know where this was supposed to go. Over in the corner. Right there, I guess. But yeah, I'm a little nervous about her being around my various toys and displayed items. But here's hoping she will play nice with them. So it looks like what we're doing right now is we're doing the kind of like root detailing that appears in the swamp waters. Boy, holding it up like this is just not really working out at all. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to reach really far, and you're gonna have to deal with seeing my face when I do it. I'm sorry for the horrors that I must inflict upon you. Fuck. Come on. Be cool, bro. There we go. Okay. Oh, hold on. A few more things to put over here. Nope. Come on. Okay. Just put those like that, I guess. All right. Sure. I don't know if we're going to get finished with this one, by the way, tonight, folks, because I still have food to eat, of course, and, you know, I sincerely doubt that we're going to finish the entire Deku tree with just these 3 little bits. How's that going? It's lined up with that there. But I will at least attempt to get as far as I can. I want one that's facing a different way. Oh, there we go. All right. Ooh, okay, round back now. That's right, because I remember there was some fairly intricate detailing in the back here as well. Okay, so 2 of these. I believe those are the right ones, because I don't think there's any other length. So that's probably fine. 2 of these. Okay. Already not 100% certain what this is that we're making right now. Already missing pieces, am I? Hope not. I'm probably just stupid. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on now, you can fit in there. I know you can. Really? I'm not really sure what... There we go. I don't know why that was so fucking hard. what? That's probably what it is there. Ah. And then that. And that. All right. Okay, now we're making another little thing. I guess this is the thing that slides into there. Oh, okay. It's not what I thought it was. I thought it was a full piece, but it's just a collection of 2 pieces. Okay, and that just goes in like that, I guess. Okay. I admit, I have no fucking idea why that was like that. Like that. Oh, I did just notice there's a couple of string items in here. These are those are probably for the sculptula. Oh, wait, no. That's wrong. Like that. That's what you want. Okay. I tell you what, chat. I have been like exceedingly sleepy tired recently. I wish there was a way to remedy that, but there isn't. I just have to suffer like this forever. You know, weirdly, some of the pieces that I feel like should logically be in the same place as another piece just aren't for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It's not like there was a chance you were going to accidentally use them in the wrong part of the build, because this is all for the same part. So I'm not really sure why it was done like that, but hey, they're the designers. I just build it for fun. Still a little unclear exactly what it is we're making here, but I'm sure it will all become clear soon. Excuse me. Sorry, sneeze. Couldn't warn fast enough. I'm sorry. Please tell my story. Peace. There you are. Ask and you shall receive, I suppose. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. This is, This is like the Deku tree's big stupid mouth, I guess. Right? Is that right? How does it close? Let me pull it back. What it's supposed to do? Because it sure doesn't fucking look like that's what it's doing. Unless you wanted it to go like... Okay, yeah, now I see. I didn't push it in far enough, but... Yeah, look at that. That's cool. That's very clever. I like that. I like that a lot. Not at all modular with the... fucking Breath of the Wild version, but who cares? Nobody likes Breath of the Wild. Horrible game. That's a joke. You know what? I feel like talking about something. And so what I'm going to do right now, even if there's nobody listening, I'm going to talk about Unicorn Overlord. A game that I have beaten now. First of all, overall review. Fantastic fucking game. Incredible game. Vanillaware, for the love of God, put your fucking games on PC. I'm begging you. You will make so much money. Like, it's insane how much money you would make if you put your games on PC. Unicorn Overlord is fantastic. Even for somebody as stupid as me, who doesn't understand strategy at all. All I know is go online, look up build videos, and watch female Ring of the Maiden oath swearing video and lie. And I love that game. I think it's fantastic. I think as far as, let's see. I mean, I think the easiest thing to compare it to is Fire Emblem, because it fits a lot of similar things to what Fire Emblem is, down to, you know, blue-haired Lord main character. But it also has a lot of other stuff going for it too. It's really funny how they refuse to release their games on PC but go practically bankrupt every time they make a game. I feel like, and I could be wrong on this, but I feel like Japanese devs have been really reluctant to release games on PC for a really long time. And I don't know what release, like, really showed them that, like, it was a viable option. I want to be arrogant and say it was, like, Persona 5 Royal or something. That, like, that game's release on PC was really just like, oh, shit. People actually, like, really want this on this. But some companies still have not figured it out yet, unfortunately. And Vanillaware is, sadly, one of those companies that has not quite figured it out. When they do, however, we will all be better for it. But back to my stupid review. I think that one of the things that, if I'm making Fire Emblem comparisons, one of the things that I really appreciate about Unicorn Overlord versus Fire Emblem, which is, again, the closest contemporary I can compare it to, at least from what I've played, is one thing that I always felt with Fire Emblem support conversations is, more often than not, I didn't really feel like certain characters who had supports with each other had enough, like, of a, for lack of a better, well, not lack of a better term, I'm using this term specifically, didn't have enough of a rapport or enough going on in their conversations, in their support conversations, to justify there being 3 of each of them. And Unicorn Overlord remedies this by saying, yeah, not every character has 3 rapport conversations. Some of them just have 2. Some of them just have 1. And I really respect that, because most of the time when you get a pair of characters that have only 1 rapport conversation, it's usually like, when you get finished with that conversation, it's like, yeah, you know what, that was probably about as far as that little mini storyline could have gone, and it's a good thing that they didn't try to push it further. There are exceptions to this, of course, there always are. I think one of the most notable exceptions for me was there's only 1 conversation between Berengaria and Virginia. And maybe this is just the way that I see things now, but when I saw those 2 interacting, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I think those 2 should fuck nasty. I hope they have more conversations. But they only have the 1. And I don't know, I just wish there was more there than that one, you know? because unfortunately, I hate to spoil this for those of you who haven't played Unicorn Overlord, they do not fuck nasty at the end of that rapport conversation. I'm sorry to say. I also feel like they do a pretty good job of, you know, like with characters like Chrom in Fire Emblem Awakening, sometimes it's a little hard to see exactly how a character can kind of come off as like as the character who gets to potentially romance everybody, or as the character who just like inspires everybody to follow him. But I feel like they do a pretty decent job of setting Elaine, the main character, up as just like, yeah, he's just like a really driven guy who is very earnest and just believes in people a lot, and that is the reason why so many people choose to follow him. Provided, of course, you don't execute every character you get the opportunity to, which, upon conferring with Kent, I learned there's just no point to executing them. Like you just, all you get is you miss the opportunity to recruit a unique character, which, why would I want to do that? And sure, one of the main like selling points of Unicorn Overlord for sure is that you can recruit like generic versions of basically every single class in the game in order to fill out your roster more, which is fun because, you know, certain squad combinations will only work with certain unit combinations, but the game does not give you enough uniques of everything to make an all-unique squad, if that makes sense. In fact, some classes get very, very few or very, very little representation, and others get 6 million. Like, you would not fucking believe how many unique hoplite characters you get. And man, let me tell you, you do not need that many unique hoplite characters. It's a perfectly fine class, but it just, it's not the best, unfortunately. I would have preferred if some of those characters were, you know, something else instead. But they were not. They were hoplites. And of course, there's just a lot of really fun combinations of characters and units and teams you can do. I think I talked on a previous LEGO stream also about Unicorn Overlord, and how I'm not a huge fan of the way that it calculates like percentage chance to hit, or not the way it calculates, but the way it presents chance to hit and other stuff like that. Also, I should read Kent's message that he sent a million years ago. I think it was actually Final Fantasy 11 and 14 that spearheaded acceptance of PC gaming as a norm in Japan. Yeah, you know, I can see that. I mean, maybe a little bit less so 11, not to discount 11, but I feel like at least, and of course this is also coming from, you know, an American view of the situation, but I feel like 14 at least has received more widespread general acceptance from people. Even outside of like an MMO community or a PC gaming community, you know, it's just had a lot more impact in that way as well. I'm sure Final Fantasy 11 is great, but, you know, there's a reason why Final Fantasy 11 got that Grand Blue Fantasy collab. But who knows? You know, there might be a 14 collab someday. That would be really interesting. I think I would be interested to theorycraft what those characters would be like. But regardless, Unicorn Overlord, right? So, yeah, just a fantastic game. Very well voice acted. It's one of those games where, similar to, you know, your Breath of the Wild, You can start the final mission very early on in the game. You shouldn't, of course, because you'll get what I can only assume is the bad ending, which I didn't get because I saw that you could do the last quest, and I was like, why would I do that? I want to do everything. I want to recruit everybody. I want to see all the stuff. But upon completing that final mission, I immediately was like, okay, yeah, I can instantly see where the bad end of this game comes from. And I'm glad I didn't do that. There's also a surprising amount of unique dialogue that comes from that mission as well. If I remember correctly, or adjusted for inflation, 11 is still Square Enix's most profitable game ever still. Wow, okay, well, fuck me, I guess. I'm an idiot then. That's crazy. You know, I really should try 11 sometime, and I might regret saying that. But, you know, due to a number of reasons, mainly A, Kent talking about it, and B, the inclusion of the Final Fantasy XI themed raid that just released in 14, the first of 3, I would be interested to see what, you know, what the game is about and where all the hype comes from and such. I don't know if that would necessarily be a stream thing, but yeah, no, I might give that a shot. You never know. Okay, so that goes through. Like that. And then this is a very odd little contraption they're having me build. Okay, so it stops it like that. So I assume what you do is you like wind it up and then you lock it in place, right? You'd also get comically stumped if you tried it too early. They have a system like the Dungeon Trust for 14, but for open world, which made much of the game more soloable. Notoriously soloable for 99% of the content past like level 10 for a very long time. You know, it is really strange to me that a vast number of like the most popular MMO RPGs are famously like just kind of really bad to play alone, which, I mean, actually, now that I think about it, no, that makes perfect sense, but, like, for what they're trying to get people to do, but also, you know, not every person in the world has a Kent, unfortunately. Although we would all be better off if we had friends like my dear friend Kent, who I love very much, and would not be half the person I am today without. And I mean that genuinely. Let's see. There. Okay. Don't know how I can process a statement like that when I haven't been able to sleep for 4 days. Means a lot. I'm glad. And I mean every word, I promise. But if it's too difficult to process now, go ahead and clip that. And play it for yourself later. Do what I do, and I have a personal little Discord that I use to share stuff between different computers and phones and stuff. Or rather, between different computers and my phone. And what I have in that Discord is a specific server in where I post screenshots and clips and general summaries of all of the nice things that people say about me. Because I am a deeply self-loathing person, and it's nice to have a place to collect all of the information to remind myself that I am loved and I deserve it. So if you're looking for life advice, person who stumbled across this, or person who's listening to this in the future, or right now, or whatever, do what I just said. Make a personal Discord for yourself, and just use that to write down all the nice shit people say about you. Even if you don't necessarily believe it at that point, put it there anyway. So yeah, Unicorn Overlord is great. Really fun game. If I had, I guess, the mental capacity, I would try and get more, a more, like, complete kind of review roundup of everything. Because I've barely talked about the gameplay at all, and that's kind of like the main draw of many of these things, but I mean, the gameplay of Unicorn Overlord is very simple. And yet, very deep. Because of all of the strategery you can do. Isn't that right? Yeah, that's right. Oh wow, it does actually connect. Impressive. Whoop, whoop, uh-oh. Go back. How did you, I don't know how you got back on. Okay, there we go. And the gambits, yes. I would say it was pretty good practice for the gambit system in FF12 that I swear to God I will return to eventually. I just need to work up the courage. But at the same time, I did also, you know, look up a goodly number of the powerful unit compositions that I ended up using. But that's okay. Because I'm here to tell you, gentle viewer, that it is okay to net deck. And if you don't know what net decking is, it's a trading card term that they use to describe people who don't really do deck building by themselves and instead just look up a powerful deck list and use that. Because you can learn from that. It is possible. It's also possible to not learn from that and just keep net decking, and that's also fine. As long as you're okay with, you know, maybe not necessarily improving at the game. It doesn't help that a bunch of skills in Unicorn Overlord are mistranslated. I did not know that, but that would make a lot of sense. Can you think of any examples offhand, Kent, or not to put you on the spot or anything, but I would be curious to know which ones are not, or mistranslated rather. Actually nearing the end of these bags here, and we're going to move on to the next one soon. Exciting. One of the biggest offenders is a druid skill that just straight up does the opposite of what it says. I'm trying to think of which one that would be. Because the druid skills are offensive curse, defensive curse, compounding curse, cursed swamp, quick curse, and passive curse, I think it is, right? I might be forgetting one or two. But there were also a number of druid skills that I straight up just did not use because they did not feel particularly useful. Okay, just kind of at an angle like that. All right, sure. One of the debuffs has the wrong skill text on its effect when it does something else entirely. I don't suppose that would be compounding curse, would it? Because if it is, then that was the one that I did not use at all, because it comes so late, and I had always just felt like the ability to put a second different type of debuff on somebody was much more useful than just making the current one on them worse. So maybe that didn't affect me at all, but I don't know. Either offensive or defensive, whichever one it didn't inherit from Shaman. That must be defensive curse then, because offensive curse I'm fairly certain was there in Shaman, because I remember before I kind of found my stride with a couple of units, I remember having a lot of difficulties with going up against shaman or groups that had shamans in them, because they, if you're not prepared for the amount of debuffs they throw at you, they can just fucking annihilate your unit's ability to do DPS at all. Or maybe not DPS, but just do damage. Oh, okay. That's a cool little way to lock it on there. I like that. It still lets you kind of move these around. Yeah, okay, these are his whiskers. Got it. Makes sense. Kind of figured that was what it was going to be. I'm actually not doing that right. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Got a little mustache. Let's make it a little droopier. There we go. He looks so sad. Maybe it's because he's dying. That's probably why. Pretty good reason for anybody to just be sad, really. Another thing I really wish I could find for Unicorn Overlord is like a sprite depository, because I mean I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that like literally the draw for Vanillaware games is their hand-drawn immaculate sprite work. And in the little bit of research that I did, I could not find any place that just had like a list of it. So it said it was lowering attack and magic attack, but it actually lowers magic and magic defense. Defensive curse said it has the same effect as offensive curse, but with an added guard seal effect. Huh. Yeah, I feel like that must have gotten patched then, because and this also could just be an indictment on me for not reading it too well, but like, I'm fairly certain it... You know what? I can just get my Switch and look at it right now. Let's find out. Character list. Where are you, Selvi? There you are. Defensive curse. Just says inflict physical defense -50 and magic defense -50 and guard seal on a row of enemies. So I guess it gotten patched, or I don't know. Yeah. Oh, there was an early patch that fixed something. Well, yeah, there you go then. Huh. Well, I'm glad that got fixed then. Because I mean, you would have probably fucking figured it out pretty quick that that wasn't what it did, but you know, still a confusing thing to have. You know, one thing about this set that would be really cool if it was there, but almost certainly will not be, because that would be too fucking hard, is, wait a minute. Okay, I understand what I did wrong. If it came with like a Goma, like the boss that you fight at the end of the Deku tree. That would be really cool, but, you know, probably a little bit too much for this modular design. And a design that doesn't come with, like, you know, a fucking expansive underground section as well. I kind of want to play Ocarina of Time again. What a good game. Okay, and then that goes right there. Are we making, is this like a Deku Baba that we're making here? Or is this just... I can't really tell. Not really sure what the hell this thing is. Because it just says, just put it right there. Found a Reddit post collecting some of the errors. Let's see. Aerial shift. Aerial smite. Wow. Yeah, some of these are... Yeah, wow. Some of these are really bad. But at the same time, like, the weird thing is like... I feel like some of those... I'm not... I would be, I guess, curious to know how exactly those errors occurred. Because it's pretty clearly just primarily like a translation error, but yeah, I don't know. That seems just kind of sloppy almost. I hate to disparage work of translators, but I don't know. I feel like you'd catch that. Okay, next. I guess we are all done with these bags. Onwards to bag 13. Give it up for bag 13. I suspect some are just copy-paste errors, but it seems like they might be earlier copies of original text sent to translators. I suppose, yeah. Okay. Luckily, there's only one bag of shit to go through this time, so this will be a little bit easier on me, thankfully. Okay. Boop. Boop. Come on, where is it? There it is. Oh, okay, yeah, so this is on both sides then. So that goes like so, and then just one normal one on top. And that goes like so, just another normal one on top. There we go. If I remember correctly, Vanillaware doesn't typically do worldwide launches, right? That sounds right to me, but I could not rightfully say. I want to say I remember seeing some like early clips of like one of the Odin Sphere games that was in Japanese that like somebody was playing. Presumably because the English version wasn't out, so that would make sense. There's another thing that I feel like has changed pretty drastically over the years recently. Worldwide releases. Because man, let me tell you, when in the time before Persona 5's release, I remember I was fiending the internet for any little, you know, just little bit of information regarding that game, because I was so excited for it. I remember my pain when it was delayed, resulting in one of my favorite images of all time, which is this user was stood up on Valentine's Day by a video game, because one of its original release dates was supposed to be February 14th, which it did not make. Yeah, that was that was a game that I was in college when that game came out. And I can't remember, I don't think that was one of the first midnight releases I went to when I was in that apartment, but I think probably that honor goes to Monster Hunter Wilds, the original PS4 version. Which sadly I did not play as religiously as I thought I was going to. But yeah, worldwide releases have been something that I'm very happy has continued to be a trend. It's one of those things that's like, I feel like it happened for like maybe a Pokemon game or something at first, and then it just like it never went back. Because fucking how could you? If you do if one company does a worldwide release and like then sticks to doing worldwide releases and like another company doesn't, like that looks pretty bad for you if you're the company not doing it. Especially, and I want to say that is something that came like primarily as a result of just how easy it is to get spoilers from stuff online. Which is like the one good thing that has come out of that. The ease of getting spoilers online means that we get games with worldwide releases. And I think that is a trade I am perfectly happy to make. No more waiting 2 years for a Pokemon game to come out. Oh, God. Launch on Fridays so people have the whole weekend. Oh, yeah. What was the game? It was Black and White. That was what I remember. That was the Pokemon game that I remember following the release of super religiously. I remember a YouTuber I watched. I can't remember his name for the life of me, sadly. But did a playthrough of early Black and White. And for a long time, I was so used to the Japanese names of certain Pokemon that when the translated names came out, it was a real challenge to actually get myself to remember to say those names. I just couldn't do it. It was, which Pokemon was it? It was, Galvantula was one of them. And I think Zebstrika? But also Zebstrika's name is like... What do you mean it's called Snivy and not Smugleaf? Yes, Smugleaf was one. I mean, that one was a little bit easier to do just because, I don't know, Snivy is shorter. Sorry for the shaking. I'm going to Cerebi to look up Galvantula's Japanese name. Let's see. Maybe it wasn't Galvantula, because that actually, I don't actually recognize that name. Which one was it? Joltik, maybe? Nope. Okay, I don't remember which one it was then. Maybe it was just like, maybe it was just translated, the specific way that it was translated was the thing that I remembered the most. That is probably more likely, because I don't recognize the names for Galvantula or Joltik at all. Is that right? It just sits there, I guess. It's a little weird, but hey, whatever. Oh, okay. Not spare parts, those are perfectly normal parts. There we go. All right, next, bag 16. I am definitely going to have to invest in some fucking Ziploc bags to make sure that I have all of the specific parts for the Ocarina version and Breath of the Wild version of this model separated. I want to switch them out later, which I'm sure I will. And I gotta admit, I kind of got my hopes up a little bit when the Master Sword part of this was just like a thing that clicked onto the center. I was kind of like, ooh, maybe this means it'll be, you know, more modular so you can swap it out at will, but nope, nothing doing. Whew. Oh, okay, I see. We're alternating colors now. It's a little confusing, but I get the idea. Oh yeah, little heart. Kind of. Oh, hold on. Am I doing that for both of them? Nope, just for one. I'm confused. Why only on one? That seems odd. Whoop. Oh boy. We are making something, that's for sure. Sure. Okay. Boy, this is taking me on a weird journey of building. That's for sure. That just goes right in there. Sure. Ooh. Ah, okay, yeah, this is just the top. All right, yeah, sure. There we go. Okay. Yes, we are using bright lime green. This is such a good color of piece, by the way. I love it. You don't see it super often, because I feel like I have some memory of back in the Bonkle days, sets that had that color on like their joints, those pieces were very prone to breakage. That's not right. It goes there, I guess? Yeah. Sure. And then, oh, okay. It's branches. I understand. How strange that we built that like beforehand. Huh. Yeah, all right, sure. And then these go on the front. All right. Yeah, why not? That's correct, right? Looks right. Nope. Almost fucking fell for it twice. But you're not getting me this time, motherfucker. All right, look at that. And then I'm guessing, let's see, let me just kind of skip ahead a little bit here. Next up is bags 17, 20, and 21. 17, 21, and 20. Ooh, and this is one of those steps similar to that of one of the ones in the AT-AT that I was not particularly fond of, which was the construction of the legs, or the feet, rather. Well, feet and legs, I guess. Where it was just like, do this one thing 4 times. So, we'll see how this goes. And I will build 4 at once instead of 1 at a time, because probably a good idea to save a little bit of time. I feel like we're getting pretty close to the end. How long have we been going for? About an hour or so? We could maybe wrap this up by the end of stream tonight. That would be something else. And then I would probably leave this on display for a little bit and then think about doing either another one of making the Breath of the Wild one once I had gotten kind of tired of this one, or doing one of the maybe not one of, or one of the I guess there's really only one other Lego thing I have potentially to build, and that would probably be a single session, just because it's mostly just stuff that needs to be rebuilt because it doesn't travel well. Although I might even, I don't know, I might even refrain on doing that just in case. Because I don't know how, or I don't know if we're going to be in this apartment come this time next year. It is these, right? These look like they're the same type as that, so that's probably fine. One leaf. Two leaf. One leaf. Two leaf. One leaf. Two leaf. Oh God. Oh, this is even more than I thought. Because we have to, so we had to make 4 of these, but now for every one of these, we have to make 2 of another thing. Oh boy. Okay, well, this we're going to do one at a time, because this is a little too much. One there, and then one on... Okay, yeah, sure. So like that, and then just put one of these little sprouty bits. Like that, I guess. Sure. I appreciate that these little sprouty bits almost serve, as far as I can tell, as like kind of a pin that holds the rest of the leaves in place, as far as I can tell. That's pretty neat. Okay, there's one little branch. Stick that in there. Do the other side next, I think. Did those one at a time before, but now I'm going to do them 2 by 2. Since these are fairly easy to make. Just a bunch of leaves. All right, all right. Starting to look a little bit less bald. It's always a good sign. Excuse me. Oops. Okay, like that. And then this goes in like that. Okay, sure. All right, 2 more. I noticed we haven't actually put together the little sculptula that I assume is supposed to go hanging off that little web in the back there. And I'm guessing some of these last bags are probably just some other little details around the dungeon. It's really loose. Okay, there we go. It's because it wasn't properly pegged in, that's why. Remember, folks, if it seems loose, just peg it again. It's always a winning strategy. Or peg it harder, I suppose. There, look at that. Very much less bald. Okay, and then we just make 5 of these other things. Sure, we'll just start with the one. Is it just the same thing again? Yes, okay. Well, okay. I'll just make these one at a time. I can handle that. Okay, and I guess I just start. How exactly does it want me to just wait? Damn, there's really not like a better image of I think what it wants is to just do this. Is that right? I don't know. Hey, let me look at something else really quick here. You know, seems like it's right. So. I mean, I guess really the just order of the day here is just kind of arrange it in whatever way looks kind of the most clustered together in the way that like a real tree does. But bam, look at that. Foliage. All right, next. Looks like we're take these off, I guess? I guess these are kind of designed to be removable. Interesting. And then we need, oh, I knocked something over. No, stop. Don't get knocked over. Okay. Need bag 22. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have this shit done by the end of the night, that's for sure. Nice. Another thing to check off my list. Red, a blue, a yellow, and a bow. I admit I'm a little unsure what that is meant to represent here. Whatever. Is it? No, I can't remember. Okay. Next thing. Might be a music, one of the ocarina things, maybe. Who can say? Certainly not I. That for sure is a musical note thing. Okay, and then these go back on. Sure. You know what? I'll play a little funky. I'll swap the sides these things were on. What an, like, can I just stop and say, what an interesting thing to do, because you can't see them from the interior. You have to take these things off in order to actually get at those, like, those little details. But they're there nonetheless, you know? And that's interesting. I can't rightly say if I care for it necessarily as like a something that we spend time on, but I mean, that's kind of the whole point of these Lego ideas or these collector's edition things, is that they're full of details that, like, only collectors really care about, you know? Other than perhaps, you know, the person building it. Speaking of which, Gossip Stone. That is a fucking, one of the most indescript places you could possibly put it in. Just, I don't know, yeah, just throw it vaguely over there, I guess. Sure. Get more of the Sonic ones, they're filled with similar details, or they're probably filled with more similar details. Yeah, I would say so. I know that, the Sonic the Hedgehog adventure in LEGO Dimensions is might as well be a new Sonic Adventure game, which is pretty great. Not that LEGO Dimensions is a fucking easy game to get and play, thanks to the way that it is. I mean, I have it, but you know, I'm in a fairly unique position in that regard. The big problem is I don't own any of, like... Well, I own one extra set, but I never really bought into the Toys to Life kind of craze. Skylanders was never really my thing. Is that right? Yeah, no, that's correct. Okay, yeah, so this is Deku Baba that we're building here. Hell yeah. I was very much looking forward to building this sucker. Oh, yes, and it's fucking it's just two fucking little snappy things put together. Awesome, I love it. And now I guess I build another one. Okay. I did not notice that I was building two. Like so. Cool. And these go in more nondescript locations. Like right there. And right there. Cool. Okay, and now I guess the next thing we do is just put more leaves. More leaves. We must have more fucking leaves. That includes putting little thingamajigs on top of things that already have thingamajigs, or that already have leaves. Sure, why not? My question is, how exactly does this conflict with the Breath of the Wild stuff? I can only assume that like you're putting trees on top of those or something. Alright, have I done enough? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's enough. Cool. Moving on. Okay, yeah, sure. Sprouts in those. Yep. Oh, fuck yeah, now we're building the real fucking star of the show. Here we go. Yes. I was wondering when we were going to get to this dude. Oh. Uh-huh. There are his little arms. Oh, yes. Look at his stupid little face. I have approximately 1 million amiibo. Sorry. So, well, I guess, you know, actually, now that I think about it, if amiibo counts as that, which of course it fucking does, then yeah, I do also have a goodly number of amiibo. Disney Infinite was always one that looked like it was the most interesting, like, game of those. But, again, I just never really got into it. Yeah, there he is. Baby Deku tree. You can't fucking see him at all because his camera's so far away, but whatever. Who cares? Now we're doing more interior detailing. All right. You can't see it, but in the instructions, when you finish putting together the Gossip Stone and the Deku Babas and the Baby Deku tree, it gives you like a little thing in the side that's like, this is the Deku Sprout, or like, these are the Deku Babas, or whatever. And I just had the image as I was putting this one together in my head of just like, this is the famous torch that's inside the Deku tree. And just being like, yes, of course. The torch. You know the one. Does it fucking matter where I put this? I don't think so. Right there, sure, whatever. Who cares? Ooh, yes! Now here's something that is actually important. The fairy slingshot. Raise your hand if you ever referred to it as the fairy slingshot and not just the slingshot. I can't see any of you, but I'm going to assume that none of you are raising your hands because you're not crazy. I don't blame you if you refer to the fairy ocarina as the fairy ocarina, because, you know, there's a distinction between the titular Ocarina of Time and the fairy ocarina, but the fairy slingshot is just a fucking slingshot. Oh, fuck yeah. Skulltula time. Slingshot, comma, the. That's right. And yeah, I agree. The whether or not they were useful in the game is kind of irrelevant. They are just pretty nice toys. If you know me, you know I love a good toy. Oh, no, not those. These. There we go. That's what I want. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised with how, I guess, inarticulate the Skulltula is so far. I would think that I don't know, I guess, that it would just be a little bit more, there would be a little bit more to it, but I don't know, suppose all the money went towards, all the other shit. Oh. Come on. There we go. That, and then... Oh, come now. There we go. Yeah, the only things that can move are these back and forth and these like that. Huh. And this connects... Oh boy, that is very difficult. There we go. There we go. So, hold this. Come on. There we go. Line that up, stick it there. And then, let's see, I don't know how good camera can get this, but... Well, he doesn't drop down very well, but maybe I'm just winding him the wrong way. Yeah, he doesn't exactly drop. Maybe if I wind him this way instead. Nope. Maybe I wind him too far. I don't know. They should really have instructions on how far to wind him. There we go. Kind of drops. Let's try that again so the camera can actually see it a little bit better. All right, and that's it. That's the Deku tree. All right. Let me just put this over here. Grab this. Stick Hetsu, I don't know, there, I guess. It's probably a good, perfectly fine place for him. Lonk. Zoldo. Oh, don't fall over, princess. And there we go. Let's clean up a little bit here. Just kind of bring everything a little bit closer so we can get the full view. Yeah, there we are. That is the Ocarina of Time build completed. Not bad. Very, very nice. I especially like this opening mouth feature. That's really, really cool. You can kind of see the Skulltula hanging there. Not a gold Skulltula, though, so not worth killing. Yeah, this is a fun build. I like this a lot. I think my biggest complaint with it is just, like... It's not as modular as I would want it to be. You know? For it to really be the perfect thing, I think it would be much better if the various like specific ocarina bits could just kind of slide off. And who knows, maybe they can, but I feel like, at least, especially with kind of like the inner mechanisms of, well, I mean, okay, let me think about this first. So the crown can pretty easily come off. The face you might have to finagle a little bit, because, let me just see if I can find, like the end where it splits here. Yeah, okay. Because it's a little hard to see in the instructions, but like this is all you end up with. Like this is the common point from which these two models spring from. And I mean, I haven't looked too deeply at what you do for the Breath of the Wild tree, but I mean, the interiors are used completely differently. This entire mouth apparatus is gone. And the front section of, because you've got this additional bit that sticks onto the front like this, most of the kind of decorative nature of this outdoor bit, so like the Deku Babas and this guy, are just replaced with, like, you know, smaller trees. Which is kind of unfortunate. With the trade-off, of course, being that you get Koroks, which is great. And it looks like, as well, I'm not... Let me look a little bit further into this, because now I'm a little curious. There appears to be a similar mechanism of sorts, in a similar vein to how this is here. That appears to be for a part of the Breath of the Wild tree. It looks like maybe it like controls his eyebrows, maybe, which is funny. What? Oh, okay, cool. That's interesting. In these little side pods here, where the what I can only assume to be music stones go, in the Breath of the Wild version, it looks like you stick the circular and square bombs, the two best things that were removed from Breath of the Wild going into Tears of the Kingdom, as well as like the little pad that you initially get the Sheikah Slate from, and the ones that you put it into to like dispense runes and all that stuff. So that's neat. Actually, it looks like these panels here on the side are actually exactly the same. Because we opened, what, bag 13? Interesting. Okay. So, reading further into this now, it looks like certain parts are the same between the two. The reason why it's jumping between all of the numbers is because there are certain bags that are a common denominator between the two builds. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the top of the head seems the same. Obviously the crown and the color of the leaves is very different. These roots at the front are very different. I'm just trying to see if I can fucking find the part where it says what this action little bit does. These are just the trees in the front. Regardless, this is just kind of me prolonging the inevitable, but because we are effectively just done here. But yeah, this was a fun build. I really enjoyed this one. And as Kent says, I would also very much like to see them continue this trend with Zelda stuff. I feel like there's a lot of really interesting opportunities for stuff they could do. If they wanted to continue doing... Well, here's the thing. As much as I think, or no matter what my feelings are about Breath of the Wild, it is a good... It is a good video game. I've always described it to my friends as like, it's a good game, but it's not a good Zelda game. To me, at least. But if I hang on, sorry, let me try and formulate my thoughts here. I would say that as a like expression of what Zelda is as a series, it would be very interesting for them to continue this kind of like 2-in-1 set situation. Because the guiding principle I think of Zelda has always been the two worlds connection. You know, like there's always one state of the world, and there's also one other state of the world that you're connected to, or you're traveling between, you know, different versions of the world, or like you know, you're exploring the Twilight version of the world, or the sky and the surface, and so on and so forth. So it would be interesting to see more things like that, even if it's not from two different games like Ocarina and Breath of the Wild. It would be interesting to see like a Death Mountain set, for example, an Ocarina of Time Death Mountain set that's like one version is Child Link version, the other one is Adult Link version, like with a little Volvagia, and one with a King Dodongo. Probably be a little difficult to do that for like the Water Temple and Jabu Jabu. But you could do the Spirit Temple, maybe? That would be really interesting, because I mean, that's a dungeon that's designed specifically to go through as both child and adult. So you could play with that a little bit more. Link to the Past sets with Light and Dark World versions. That's also true. I think the biggest problem with doing some of the 2D Zelda games is with Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time, the models in there have a very obvious sense of 3D space to them. While there is, you know, obviously a sense of scale and 3D space in the 2D Zeldas, I wonder how well you'd be able to capture that in Lego form. But I mean, either way, that's not really for me to decide. But yeah, you know what? All in all, this was a good build. I had a good time with this. Now, here's the important question. This is the toughest part of this section. And that is, where in the fuck am I going to display this? Because just looking at the height of it now, I don't think it's going to fit on any of my inner shelves. And there's not a whole lot of real estate to go around on my upper ones. Especially with a beast coming to live with us very soon. So I may have to shuffle some things around. This might just go back on my little kind of writing desk over in the corner of my room. But that's a problem for me to deal with. For now, I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to the ending screen. There we go. All right. Let me just move my chair over so I can... Good looking set. Just make him leaning weirdly like a Link Between Worlds? Sure, whatever. You know, whatever works for him. All right, folks. Well, I would like to thank you all very much for joining me today. It was a well, a little shorter than I was expecting, I'll admit, but still good stuff. I honestly kind of thought we would get one more out of this, and of course we still might, because, you know, there's the entire other half of the set to build, but that's gonna have to wait for a little bit, at least, and I'm gonna have to get some Ziploc bags together to ensure that all those parts stay separate. But, yeah, thank you guys very much for joining me. Just kind of a look ahead here. So next stream probably going to be Overlord on this coming Thursday, I think. No, because we just did ACAB. So next is actually going to be 14, right? Yes. Next up is 14. 14 episode 13. I'm gonna have to probably try and get a guest together for that one, because we're going to be going through questing. We have, I think we're pretty close to the end of Churning Mists, actually. Or in terms of main story quests, and then we'll have a lot of side stuff to do. Once we get flying, then we're going to do that Moogle quest line, so that'll be that. But, yeah, need a guest for that, and then after that will be Overlord. And just to, yeah, you know what? I'll just end everything there and talk about that in a bit. But yeah, thank you guys very much for joining me, and I'll see you all later.